Yo, welcome back, guys. We have another race in the GTR versus Supra series presented by PitLane Esports. We're starting third place as a third race of the day after my teammates, TPG and Goose and Peppers24 have both brought it home on the podium. So we'll get underway here, driving the GTR on soft tires here at Red Bull Ring and coming up to this very tricky first turn. So we're going to try and warm up the tires a little bit. On the practice start that I did, went a little bit wide here, so just to make sure that we have a nice and cautious turn one. Try and brake a little bit earlier for the hairpin. And you see there, Nexian almost goes into the back of us at the uphill hairpin there. But it does seem like the first two corners we've gotten through it clearly, and we're now going to be out of danger. So eyes now forward, looking on Donmei and Twitchy up ahead. So Twitchy doing double stint here, starting for pole. He's going to be pretty much impossible to beat. But we know we might be able to get Donmei if we can just manage to stay close. This is very much a slipstream racetrack. If you can stay in the slipstream of the car ahead, it's very, very difficult for them to break away from you. Oh, Dome is so slow through there. So second lap as we come through turn one. I'm not sure if Donmei made a mistake, but he was very, very slow on the apex. And so we almost ran into the back of him. So at this point, I know that we're going to have to use this opportunity to get past, because I think we have a bit more pace than what Donmei has. So we're going to send it up the inside here into the hairpin. Nice, clean pass. Get on the traction. Got to be careful coming out of that traction zone there, especially when you're making the overtake. It's just very, very easy to spin up the rear tires on this GTR and lose control of the rear. So as we come down into this downhill hairpin, thankfully Donmei doesn't go for a move back up the inside. So now we need to try and consolidate this second place and break away from the pack behind before Hawko and TX3 GTR make their way through.
Tapping going on back here.
Oh no, Nexian's there. Someone else is the gap to the next group. So TX3 GTR and Hainsey. So just a bit of team radio there as we try and figure out what's going on behind us. And we're going to skip up ahead now to the beginning of lap 4. If I get a good turn one here, I can do it. 28.6, the pace is okay. Got a decent turn one, have broken the slip, but only just. He might make it back up on the braking for the hairpin though. So on the beginning of this fourth lap, we get a really good exit through turn one and manage to pull out over the 7/10 slipstream range. And you can see that Donmei, he's facing some pressure from behind. And so in Session and TX3 GTR here are going to be going side by side through the hairpin as Donmei just steps out the rear. Remember what I said about getting on the throttle nice and gently in this GTR. And so now as they are going to be running here down towards the downhill hairpin, it's actually going to be 3 wide as TX3 GTR tries to pick up 2 positions at once. We've got Donmei on the inside there, and all 3 of them come together, collide, and TX3 GTR ends up spinning around.
Oh, TX3 spun.
Thank God for that.
He got spun.
He got spun?
Donmei spun him. So Donmei slowing down too.
Yeah, unlucky. TX3. Good for us though. So we're going to skip forward now to the beginning of lap 7. The pace has been fairly consistent so far in the mid to high 28 range. And after that series of fortuitous events with TX3 GTR and Donmei, we've managed to pull out a little bit of a gap to the group behind. You see Twitchy is about 4 seconds up the road. So we're kind of on our own at this point and just trying to drive as consistently as possible. But we will now skip up ahead to the 9th lap. And the gaps come down to a 1.5 to Hawko, and it kind of just has stabilized at that point, as there's certain areas of the track where I'm pulling away from him and certain areas where he's catching up to me. But as we round these final 2 corners on lap 9, we are in the pit stop window, and so Hawko here is just going to pull in to the pits. And we see that he has 51% fuel, we're on 48%. And thankfully the undercut on this track isn't that powerful, as the low fuel load kind of offsets the advantage of the new tyres. But given that he has saved that little bit more fuel, there is the threat that he is going to jump us here in the pits. So it's really important that we just absolutely nail the in-lap.
Alright, hammer time.
So after using our special Lewis Hamilton star, we come out of the pits, we look back and we see that Hawko is coming up the pit lane right now. So have we done enough to stay ahead of him? He comes through the corner, he's going to have a greater exit speed as we come up onto this straight. But no, you can see that we do manage to get out ahead, but the gap has been reduced down to just over half a second. So that is, we lost about 1 second there in the pits, with Hawko having to take on less fuel than what we did. And so we see that here, there in the mirror, he just finishes up serving his penalty. So from here on, we're going to have 10 laps of intense battling with the Canadian driver.
We'll have a lap fresher tyres as things go on. Oh, that was a good exit. Unfortunately, he starts to claw it back.
So we survive our outlap, our tyre temperatures are now up to normal. We're going to have the 1 lap fresher tyres from here to the end of the race. So we're going to skip up ahead now to lap 15.
The only saving grace kind of thing is that in my dirty air, he's not getting the best run through turn 1. Although that was better because I was a little bit hesitant. Yeah, he's much closer this time. He might go for a move. I'm going to defend. How big a gap do we have to goat?
3 seconds, 3.3.
So we survive our first little skirmish there with Hawko after I get a poor exit from turn 1 and decide to defend turn 2. So we just want to keep an eye on the gap behind to GOAT. And we are now going to skip up ahead to lap 17, and you can see that Hawko's kind of figured out how to drive in the dirty air through turn 1, and he's now getting much closer.
Alright, good exit. Still maybe close enough. Let's try and brake slip a little bit. Okay, I don't think he can come back from there.
You just said he's keeping the pressure on.
Yeah, I can hear.
So you might have just heard there on the background of Pepper's microphone that Hawko said he's keeping the pressure on. It's because we had his stream opened just to try and get any kind of inside information in this battle with the super talented Canadian. So switching over to camera view as we skip through lap 18, you can see that Goat has fallen back a fair while. Hawko and myself are kind of out in our own race at the moment. And some very beautiful shots here of the Red Bull Ring situated in Austria. So we'll skip on ahead to lap 19 here, and we'll see if this Australian driver can withstand the pressure of the Canadian Hawk for these final 2 laps. So as we make the run up the hill to turn 2, you notice that on the left-hand side that the delta is not growing, in fact it is shrinking. And so Hawko is now going to be close enough, and we're going to kind of defend the middle of the track here, and he gets up almost alongside us as we go through turn 2, but he goes out wide there onto the curb on the exit. It's going to give him a little bit of a dirty tires there, and so we'll speed through the rest of this lap as you see that we're able to pull away through the middle section as he struggles to get the grip back into his Supra. And so as we come around the last corner, we're going to have a half a second gap to Hawko as we enter this final lap. And so I'll shut up now and let you experience this conclusion to this very intense battle.
Any Hawko update?
Nah, he's very quiet. He's not saying anything. His stream is like 17 seconds behind your stream.
Fuck yes.
Great job.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So we did it. We bring it home in 2nd place. Our best result of the season so far for Team TPGN in the PitLane Esports GTR versus Supra Series. What just an amazingly intense race. So shout out to Hawko. That was absolutely incredible. And shout out to you guys for managing to make it all the way through this video. It's a little bit longer than usual, but I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please hit the like button. It helps me out, helps the channel out. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you're not already a channel subscriber. And we'll see you next week for the finale at Bathurst. So, bye for now.